Thank you for tuning in to The Reading, produced by Black Spectrum Network. Please go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com to purchase a private psychic reading. If you can't get enough of my content, go to patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. For as little as $2 a month, you can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. Please like this video, click the subscribe button, and leave us some feedback in the comment section. I'm now going to shuffle the personality cards about Tina Knowles. The first card that I get for Tina Knowles is the Hedonist card. So this is speaking about her. Being a natural. She's a creative, intuitive, and an intuitive creative. What I mean by this is that she creates and designs based around her intuition. But she creates for the purpose of beautifying things. So she tries. So I know that she does fashion design. So some people will create art so that it's appreciated. Some people may create art as a form of activism. She creates art to help illuminate the beauty in the world, help to illuminate the beauty of the person. I'm also saying here that she really enjoys living a luxurious lifestyle. So she enjoys fresh fruit, fine wines, very, very good cheeses. She likes private jets, high heels, soft sofas. I see things like that. The next card is the companion card. This is speaking about her. She has codependent energy, yes. She loves being in love. She doesn't like being single. She was raised not to want to be single. In addition to that, I'm saying that as a companion, she's not a very selfish person. She's very, very giving to the point that she will lose herself in a role. So she forgets that she's Tina Knowles and she remembers that she's a wife. She forgets that she's Tina Knowles and she remembers that she's a mother. She has a difficult time separating Tina Knowles from the other roles and responsibilities that she has in life. And she doesn't want to figure out who Tina Knowles is as a single woman, well as a single person. The childlike attributes to Tina Knowles involve her having a youthful spirit, mind, and body. She loves humor. She loves immature jokes. She definitely doesn't have the inner. She has the physical energy of someone who's older. So the voice, the mannerisms her social mannerisms are indicative that she's of older age, but her energy is not. She still loves to dance, very youthful, loves young children, loves to be around the youth. In addition to that, her childlike spirit allows for her to get in contact with Tina Knowles, the individual, and it helps her to escape from being a mother, being a wife, being a businesswoman. Tina Knowles likes to gossip. So I get this energy about her that she gossips to Beyonce about other people. And Beyonce has to tell her, like, Mom, be quiet. Mom, no. Mom, don't say that. Tina Knowles likes to gossip. She loves to gossip about things in the music industry. She loves to read gossip websites. And I'm saying that she loves to spend her time on Instagram. So she's very much she's privy to the things that are said about her and her family. She's also privy to the things that go on in social media. Her social media involving other celebrities, especially like Feud. She loves rap beefs. she is she's I also get that she's in bed with gossip sites as well. But not but I'm saying this is like the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, Billboard. They can contact her for exclusive information about Beyonce if they wanted to. They have to pay a lot of money for it. She comes up as the advocate card. Now, now with the advocate card, it's speaking about her. She's an advocate for the people that she's friends with and the people that she's in relationship with. Tina Knowles is not an advocate for a community of people. I get that she cares about racism, issues of race and gender, but she's not an advocate for those communities. I don't get that she's an activist, as I said earlier. I get that she advocates on behalf of the people that she cares about. So if you see her at a Black Lives Matter rally, she's there to advocate as a companion to the community. This may not be her motivation, but she supports other people's motivations. She's a supporter of good missions. The Queen card has come out, so she operates with this very regal energy about herself. She's always been this way because she wanted men. She wanted a husband that would take up for her. She wanted a husband that would step in for her, a husband that she did lean on, and one that stood sturdy. The Queen card is saying that she likes to be pretty. She enjoys being a trophy wife. She doesn't mind being submissive. Actually, she very much enjoys being submissive, and she really, really enjoys being the eyes and ears for a man, and reporting back to him with information that she's acquired, especially when it comes to gossip. She is very demanding of the people that are employed by her. She is very protective of her staff. She's very, very, very protective of her children, and she's extremely protective of her grandchildren. The Priest card, she's initiated. She's definitely a spiritualist, and I also get that the Priest card it complements well with the Queen card. So she has if in terms of a spiritual hierarchy, she has warrior spirits, lower level warrior spirits that are around her that do her bidding. People are very attracted to her because she's very priestessly. She's very priestessly, meaning that she comes off like a prophetess, a minister, like a Priscilla Shirer energy. She is very knowledgeable about the Bible. She loves God, and she's a big advocate for she's a big advocate for Jesus Christ. The Exorcist card is talking about her. It's speaking about Tina Knowles. She's how do I say this? She's definitely been an abused woman, and she's had to get out of that. Like she's been on, and I'm hearing that after she divorced, she was on a journey to self-love, self-discovery, finding herself as a woman. That didn't last long, however, because she has codependent energies. But regardless, Tina Knowles, and can I remember her husband's last name? I feel like I should be calling her by her husband's last name. But either way, let's just call her Tina. Tina is someone that she's not outward. Like when she gets angry, she's not outward with it. She can beat herself up. Now she will protect her children and her staff members. Outside of that, she definitely berates herself. When it comes to her shadow side is very inward, and the shadow side is hypercritical of her choices, decisions, and especially she's especially hypercritical of things that are out of her control. All right, so now I'm about to shuffle the tarot, and we're going to get into a very deep explanation of Tina Knowles' ancestry, her spiritual gifts, her personal background, her family spiritual gifts, her spiritual purpose, her relationship with Matthew Knowles, her thoughts on Jay-Z. So stay tuned. All right. Give me 1 second while I shuffle the tarot. The first question that I have for Tina Knowles is I want to know, what is her soul's mission? What was she put on this earth to do? Okay. Tina Knowles' soul mission was to have children, and to extend her family's bloodline. Especially and here's the thing: I see the two daughters. She was supposed to have two daughters, and those daughters were to. She was supposed to have two daughters. She and those two daughters were supposed to form a trio with one another and do business together. And in them doing this business, they were to touch other people's souls, to enlighten them about putting them on the journey of loving themselves spiritually and physically. I get that Tina Knowles' life purpose is to be in the background of things. So the Sun card comes up. Tina Knowles is supposed to act as the moon. She's supposed to be controlling. She's supposed to be controlling her family's intuitive. How basically she controls their intuitive trajectory. And what I mean by that is, as the moon, she controls the ebb, the way that the family ebbs and flows, kind of like the water. She has a gravitational pull on them spiritually, so she is the family's matriarch. She was supposed to come as far as like her, the Knowles bloodline in general. Her soul's purpose was to show them what camaraderie looks like, to show them how to feel like a tribe. And to help reconnect them with their ancestral roots, and to produce a generation of women that had a deep appreciation for ancestral worship as well. The black hole card comes out, so it's really as simple as that. It's a period. I was gonna pull 3 cards, but I guess that's as much as we need to know about her soul's mission. I want to know about her family's ancestry. What can we find out about her family's ancestry? Okay, with the Hermit card being here, her family comes from a long line of mystics, intuitive, shamans, healers, hoodoo workers. They've always been involved in spiritual work. But it's been the women. The women are the ones that carry down the practices. And it's the women that will pass down these gifts through their DNA. In addition to that, her family, like the men in her family, are usually attract very macho men, warrior-esque men, or men that are very athletic into sports. Their family is also, there's a lot of infighting in the family as well, and there's like histories of infighting. particularly about like, and it happens over money. When someone dies, who's going to pay for the funeral? Who gets the who has to pay for the funeral? Is there a will left behind? And there's definitely generational drama, not trauma, generational drama, where people are arguing about things that, your mom, they did this to me, and when I grew up this way, no, they did this to me. When I was growing up, her auntie was mean to me, and that auntie ain't never liked this side of the family, sort of thing. So there's a lot of infighting there. But at the same time, it's easy for her family to have children and for them to find spouses. So everyone in the family will, not everyone, but most people in this family will end up married. Most people in this family will end up having children. So they're gonna have a long bloodline. Another thing is that they are the ancestors card. See, they are tapped into a lot of ancestral wealth. So they have their ancestors come with a lot of money. So just being born into this family, you're going to amass some sort of financial stability. It's gonna be, if it's hard for you to be broke. Literally, if you're broke in this family and being a part of their family, is because you didn't try. If you just try, you're going to go to college. Let's just put it that way. In this family, if you just try with your eyes closed, you'll go to college. They also have, they not only do they have an ancestral treasury to draw from, they also have like actual wealth in their family to draw upon. So I get that even though most African Americans were disenfranchised through slavery, this particular bloodline was able to start acquiring, financial success early on. Now, I'm not saying that Matthew Knowles and Tina Knowles, that they were born into, that either of those families were born into money, but I am saying that Matthew Knowles, I get from Matthew Knowles that he was, during his time, he was a businessman and he had access to loans that he wasn't supposed to normally have access to, and that was because of his anointing. So the family, on both sides, the family's very anointed, but on Tina's side specifically, that's where the psychic gifts come from. They are also, they have on them, I want to say on them, there was a generational curse that kept them ignorant towards academic and intellect. They had an apathy towards academic work, intellectual work, social activism. I get that Tina Knowles' bloodline is not generally drawn to politics, but they are more so drawn towards the arts, particularly beauty and aesthetics. All right, so now my next question is, I want to know, what are Tina Knowles' spiritual gifts? Tina Knowles came up as the Queen of Wands. Tina Knowles' spiritual gifts. She's not a necromancer, but Tina Knowles hears dead spirits. Like she has the ability to communicate with the dead and hear the dead. She also can meditate and acquire designs, images, fashion, like models for like models, like in terms of like structure, like I'm modeling myself after this person, so she can get fashion models, not the person, but a fashion design, that sort of fashion model, if she's to intuit. She's a very powerful sorceress. Her prayers are incredibly strong. But I hear that her family, like the prayers in her female bloodline are very, they act fast and they activate quickly. So you do want a Tina Knowles prayer just as much as you want a TD Jakes prayer. She's also tapped into the divine consciousness. So this means that Tina Knowles can come, like you can come around Tina Knowles and she can tell you a little bit about yourself without you, without you having to tell her anything about you. You can just, in a conversation, she can just pick up, I bet you like this, you should try to go here. She's really good with making suggestions to you about, living a more leisurely life, having more fun. Overall, though, her spiritual gifts deal a lot with like clairvoyance and being able to transmit messages that she hears from the dead, and especially other people's dead ancestors. I get that because she's a priestess and has been initiated, it definitely heightened her senses to dealing with necromancy spirits. But she also has warrior spirits around her as well. Okay. Now tell me about Tina Knowles' childhood. There was a lot of love in Tina Knowles' childhood. She grew up with a daddy who loved her and a mama who loved her husband. She didn't have that tight of a relationship with her mom. I get that her mom taught her a lot of things, as far as being a wife, a mother, how to cook, how to pray. But they were close with each other, but they weren't, but because they needed one another. They both, like Tina Knowles loved her dad. Tina Knowles' mom loved her husband. And that's what they bonded over. A mutual affection for Tina Knowles' dad. But I'm also hearing that Tina Knowles' grandfather was important to her as well. But with the Carter debauchery here, this is well, let me clarify. Yeah, the Queen of Swords, her mom. Her mom was a little bit jealous of, like, her mom was jealous of Tina Knowles' mom was jealous of her beauty. I get that also Tina Knowles' mom really imposed upon her, marry for stability. Love will come. You will fall in love. As long as if this man takes care of you, that's how you're gonna fall in love. Tina Knowles blames her mom for some of the misunderstandings about love that she had come to know, or that she had come to operate under. But I get that Tina Knowles was consumed with finding a soulmate. And I get that she found her soulmate very early on. Let me see. As a young girl, Tina Knowles she really didn't know how to understand her mom. Her mom was very emotional, but at the same time very callous and stern. So it's like her mom was hot and cold. Like her mom had her back, but her mom could also be mean. And Tina Knowles was never really, like, she didn't really want to be a housewife, but she wanted to have her own money. Like, she always wanted to hustle, but she knew that she was being raised to be a housewife. So there was some conflict there. Feeling like her mom didn't see all of her potential, or at least wondering if her mom saw her potential but was giving her advice that was her. She was wondering if her mom ignored her potential, or if her mom and that was the case, and her mom was giving her advice to be a housewife, or if it was or if it was about Tina Knowles not having any potential. She was very confused by that. Her dad, though she did love her dad, I get that her dad was, like, she was a daddy's girl. But I get that her dad was particularly mean to the siblings though. If she had a male, like a younger, no, an older brother. I got an older brother and a younger brother. May or may not be true, but I get it. Oh, but either way, we've done this before. Masculine energy, older masculine energy, and a younger masculine energy that he wasn't particularly cool with. The dad wasn't, and I see that the father was. I see that the father was just really stern. Like gender roles were just very prevalent in this home. But Tina Knowles grew up loved. At least she knew she was loved. But she had also, I also am seeing, and this is not in the cards, but I'm hearing that when she was about 16, 17, she was in an abusive relationship with a guy. Definitely, like, she started dating at 14, 15, but around 16, 17, she was in an abusive relationship. Definitely ready to get married 18, 19, early 20s. Because I see the energy of marriage around her in that age. So, yeah. All right. So, we're going to shuffle more tarot cards, and then we're going to get further into this Tina Knowles reading.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. Cause when we're here, there's nothing better than the skyline view. Ooh, I love this skyline view.